Warning. The content on this channel is not intended or suitable for minors below 13 years of age. If that is you, please click off and come back when you're older. By continuing beyond this point, you affirm that you are 13 years of age or older.
What's up? What is going on, Square Roots? We are back with Astrologaster Part 3, and wherein we play a doctor during plague times who is using the stars in order to diagnose stuff. Now, there's a couple different routes you can take. I've chosen to try to see if I can get the letter to see what happens after that. There's a letter from the boards that I don't get arrested. But I wonder if you would get arrested and killed if you gave purposely wrong answers. I'm not going to go through and find out if that is the case. But I'm kind of curious. So there is something I was looking at that I want to show you guys before we get into the rest of this. So this is in the About section. Astrologaster takes its inspiration from the casebooks of the real-life astrologer Simon Foreman, who we played incidentally. In the decades around 1600, which would have been past the plague, he and his protege Richard Napier produced one of the richest surviving sets of private medical records in history. These records are a unique source for the study of everyday life and the practice of medicine in early modern England. The Casebooks Project, a team of scholars at the University of Cambridge, led by Professor Lauren Castle, has transformed this paper archive into a digital archive and acted as historic consultants on the game. The team at Nyamyam was inspired and informed by Foreman's casebooks, but the game is not a dramatization of actual cases. Foreman's and Napier's casebooks are held in the Bodleian Library, Oxford. They fill 66 calf-bound volumes, page after page written in antiquated and messy handwriting. To see these casebooks and learn more about the astrologers and the history of medicine, visit casebooks.lib.cam.ac.uk. And there you go. So that's a cool little aspect of this. And I didn't take it as this was factual, of course, in any way. But alright, so we get our letter again. That's where we left off the last one.
He makes love without a care. Tis true, Avis is not his my lord. But in love, and war is fair.
So I wonder what the actual Dr. Simon Foreman would think of this. It'd be really interesting to see his thoughts, not in the video game, but on his life sort of being appropriated for a different character named Simon Foreman that is an adulterer.
Last even, 'twas like a dream. Never in my life have I felt so. Oh, my sweet Avis, 'tis true you are married, but surely a love as great as ours can transcend such earthly impediments. Dare I hope for...
No. No.
Nay,
You dare.
it is unlikely. Or is it? Forsooth, there be no harm in asking the stars. Might Avis Allen one day be mine?
Oh, I don't know. Let's choose this one.
Avis will never leave her family. Well, I suppose that is no surprise, for after all she is a Catholic and so cannot divorce. Then the time she is able to afford me will have to suffice.
It will.
Like a jewel. 'Tis all the more precious for its rarity. Avis, my jewel, my bright star.
Sure, buddy. Okay. But alas, what cruelty it is to know the truth of things. So am I supposed to be writing myself a letter of recommendation? I don't understand. And why wouldn't I give myself a letter of recommendation? Do I not like the results? Is that what this is based on? This is the guy with the... Is this the investor, I think?
Good day, D-Blog. Fare you well?
Most well indeed, and I will tell you why.
Tell me
The
why.
conquering cherub has lately returned home to England.
Ah, this being the voyage you did invest in.
Aye, and what a sound investment it was, for it has paid off most handsomely.
Great, give me
The
some.
cherub's cargo of nutmeg and pepper will fetch a high price indeed. In sooth, as I recall, it was you who advised me on this investment, was it not? I thank ye heartily for it, sir.
Nice.
I am glad to have been of service, D-Blog.
Forsooth, my earnings have enabled me to make a substantial investment in Sir Walter Raleigh's expedition to the New World.
Ah,
Sweet.
methinks I've heard of this. 'Tis a quest to find the fabled lost city of gold, is it not? Or as the Spanish call it, El Dorado?
The very same. For it is said that El Dorado does lie deep within the rainforests of the southern parts of the New World, hiding vast quantities of gold and precious jewels. Hence, what I would have you tell me is, exactly how rich can I expect to be made from my investment?
I see.
For if I'm to be made very rich, I am afeard that news of my fabulous wealth may cause some jealousy among the clergy. News travels fast around the
Yeah.
crisis, and I think it wise to get ahead of it. If I
That's
can.
a
Then
that's
let
a
us
good plan.
consult
Good
the
crude
stars.
plan.
What will become of Thomas Blagg's investment in Sir Walter Raleigh's quest to find El Dorado?
Oh boy. Alright, so I'm going to choose from now on, I'm just going to choose the one with the least amount of these because I don't know... I don't know the constellations well enough, so we'll just choose that one.
I am afeard the expedition is doomed, Dean Blagg, for Raleigh and his men have had their progress impeded. The natives who dwell upon the banks of the Orinoco River are refusing to let their ships pass.
But surely Raleigh's men will defeat them.
It seems they are unable to do so, for the stars indicate that upon spying the faces of the native children, the hearts of Raleigh's men did melt. They are disobeying their orders and refusing to lay waste to the villages for the sake of gold.
That sounds unlikely.
Small children can be very beguiling. Mayhap we send missionaries to these villages to establish schools. Once taught the Christian virtues of obedience and honesty, children will doubtless reveal the location of the City of Gold to Raleigh and his men. I will at once to Lambeth Palace go and discourse upon it with the Archbishop.
You do that. Alright. So, I do hope the Archbishop will receive me when I call upon him this time. Alright, so we didn't really get anything out of that. This guy. This guy.
Good morrow, sir, and well met.
Indeed, 'tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to the great Dottore Simon Foreman.
Aye, and I can see why you are come. Methinks you are not well, signor. The colour of your face is quite alarming.
It is because I am losing the blood. The blood does drain away from my face, away down to my body, and out to my...
You are bleeding from your fundament. How much have you been bleeding, and for how long?
Un poco, not too much. It does come and go. Sometimes blood, sometimes no blood. You stop the blood, see?
Mayhap I will, but first I must consult the
God.
stars to find a diagnosis. What ails Signor Ricardo
So I think he's got some Crohn's action maybe going on here.
There is nothing here to worry about, Signor Ferraro. Your body is merely purging itself of corrupted blood, in a similar manner to that which does occur in a woman's nethers each month. To wit, 'tis most healthsome and natural.
Are you sure? Are you sure? That is your final answer?
Indeed it is. I do assure you, Signor, 'tis the very latest medical thinking on the subject of hemorrhoids. Now, you are welcome to procure a second opinion, but I warrant you will find that most doctors in London will tell you the same.
Then Ricardo Ferraro bids you good day, Signor Foreman.
Okay. Holy shit, this guy is tough. A textbook answer, but it is not hard for a common man to procure a medical book nowadays. Yeah, man, this guy's tough.
This woman has a gift for words. If only she had riches worse, they'd probably be much better words. For isn't I
Okay.
Did you see that?
See what, madam?
Your querent, Signor Ferraro, scuttling away from me like a frightened rabbit. What have I ever done to upset the man? All I did was wish him buongiorno as I passed him at the door.
Verily, Signor Ferraro's behaviour does sound full strange. But let us not think of him, but of the matter that brings you hither, Mistress Lanier. How do you fare?
I fare most well, in the main, for I'm happy to report that you were quite wrong in judging that collaboration with Mr. S would fare ill. For in sooth, 'tis going exceeding well. Verily, Dr. Foreman, I would be right content with my lot at present if it were not for the trouble I am come about this day.
Pray, tell me of this trouble, madam.
I am being proud. Oftentimes in the night I see him following me home. One time methinks I even caught him looking at me through my window. I would have you tell me who this prowling man might be.
A prowler?
Yeah, that'd be
How
good to
very
know.
worrisome. Can you describe this man to me?
Nay, for 'tis always at night that I spy him, and I have always been too frighted for my eyes to linger upon him very long.
Then let us see what light the stars can shed upon the identity of this man who hides himself in darkness.
Let's do that.
Who is the man prowling Mistress Lanier?
Oh, if it's a map again, I'm screwed. Fuck. Okay. Okay, the one choice it is.
My dear lady, are you verily sure a man is prowling you? Your family, being Italian, are Catholics, are they not? In the Catholic faith, the witnessing of ghosts and apparitions
Oh my
is
god, I'm
especially
giving this
common.
girl the
I assure
worst,
you, Dr.
worst
Foreman, that the
advice.
man prowling me is
Worst
no
advice.
apparition.
Then mayhap the man has a perfectly honest or coincidental reason for being in your vicinity, madam.
True as I live, Dr. Foreman, it does begin to sound as if you were doubting my ability to judge my own experiences.
It does sound that way.
Nay, madam, you misunderstand me. I merely ask you to consider the situation from the standpoint of logic and reason. You are a comely woman, and doubtless countless men have pursued you over the years. 'Twould therefore be most natural for you to have developed a certain sensibility, rendering you prone to suspicious fancies wherein you believe yourself endangered by men, even in cases where you are not. Could this man, whom you think is following you, not merely be going about his business?
Appearing in
Hold,
windows?
Dr.
Jesus
Foreman.
fuck.
You ask me to consider my situation using logic and reason, so I ask you to do the same. Let us imagine there is truth in what you say, that this man most likely means me no harm. How then are we to deal with the chance that he does pose a danger? You would have me play the odds with my safety, sir. You would have me evaluate such a risk using the same logic a gamester uses when he places a bet upon the safety of a bird in a cockfight.
Madam, I do not think...
Then I bid you do think on it, Dr. Foreman. God give you good day.
Oh, my strategy didn't work very well there. Damn it! Men like him cannot compensate for their lack of worldly knowledge merely by declaring their arguments rational and logical. You go, girl.
Hear ye! Sir Walter Raleigh fails to find legendary Treasure City. Rumours say next Raleigh voyage is to Pot of Gold and the Rainbow. Hear ye!
Reports have lately come in that Sir Walter Raleigh's expedition to the New World in search of El Dorado has been a colossal cluster fail. Despite Raleigh's assurances to the Queen that he would return with gold raided from the legendary city, it is said that Raleigh's ships bring back naught but potatoes. Experts predict Her Majesty's reaction to be somewhat testy.
Here comes Emma, so shiny she, to the fair nation she offers sympathy. What is she for others now, especially when they're poor of wealth? Here comes Emma, so kind-hearted is she.
Okay, great.
Good day to you, Mistress Sharp.
Good day, Dr. Foreman. But I am Mistress Delamere now.
Mistress Delamere? But as I recall from my case notes, let me see now, 'twas 3 years past. Were you not hoping to marry a man named George Middleton?
Oh, yes. I did marry Mr. Middleton. For although you did tell me he might die, my family refused to hear of it. They quite insisted that I marry him, but only months after we were wed. He died, Dr. Foreman. He fell to his death whilst taking the air atop a church belfry.
By the saints, how very tragical.
Doubtless Mr. Middleton was under the spell of a witch, just as you said. Mayhap she had him think he was a bird.
There, my dear lady. How distressing your late husband's death must have been for you.
Aye, indeed, Dr. Foreman, so much so that my friends urged me to marry again, lest I die of grief. But now that I am once more a wife, I would not wish to be widowed anew, and John Delamere, my present husband, is also an older man. Dr. Foreman, you must tell me whether there be any illness he has, whether there be anything I might do to save my dear sweet husband from an early death.
Then let us see what the stars have to say. Is Mr. John Delamere troubled with any condition that may cause him to die?
Ah, good. Okay. Cardiac passion. Felix. What's wrong with this?
Your husband suffers from quinsy, madam.
Oh, you mean to say he has a sore throat?
'Tis a trifle graver than that, madam, but to be sure, quinsy is not fatal. To hasten your Mr. Delamere's recovery, there is a most effective treatment that you may wish to try. A moment, prithee, madam, while I consult my medical handbook. Yes. To treat quinsy, stroke the patient's swollen throat with the hand of a fresh corpse.
I am to find a dead man's hand and use it to stroke my husband's neck.
Yes, go do it.
I do not usually offer this treatment myself, so I will direct you to a specialist. Jack Stiles, the hangman at Tyburn. Tell Mr. Stiles that Dr. Simon Foreman sent you, and he will give you a fair price for a few minutes with one of the corpses.
I will be sure to. And that is all. My husband has no grave condition that threatens his life.
Nay, madam. Aside from the quinsy, your husband appears to be in very fine health.
By my troth, how wondrous. I thank ye heartily for your reassurance, Dr. Foreman. Good day.
Good day. Take my husband to the hangings at Tyburn. How absurd. Unless...
Steals a fine horse,
Oh.
she will oft boast. She loves
Oh, yes!
help you this day?
I did lately experience feelings of a most strange and disturbing nature, for which I desire an explanation.
I see. Prithee describe these feelings to me, madam. When did they occur?
Last eve, at a dinner party hosted by my dear friend Mistress Emma Delamere. All was well at first, but soon after my arrival I was stricken with a kind of madness.
Madness, you say?
Yes, moments during which I found myself overcome with feelings of mirth, laughing most immoderately at the dullest of remarks made by other guests. At other times I felt an unnatural fascination with the shape of the candelabra in the table's centrepiece, and all the while I was so ravenous with hunger, I quite absent-mindedly ate all the sweetmeats at my end of the table. I fear my rapaciousness did not escape the notice of guests seated beside me.
Such an immoderate appetite is out of character for you, I take it. It could not have merely been occasioned by anxious passions?
Why, nay, Dr. Foreman. Forsooth, I ought to have been very calm last eve, for I did spend the afternoon inhaling the fumes of an aromatic oil, a gift from my sweet husband, sent back from his explorations in the Near East. I did mention my husband, Captain Henry Fortescue, before, I think. He's a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh. Oh, Henry and Sir Walter find the oil most relaxing, so he tells me.
Yet you were not so very relaxed last eve, I take it.
No, not in the least, for I fear a capricious spell was cast upon me. Over the course of the evening, I developed the strongest intuition that malignant forces were present in the room, and that I had been bewitched. Could it be true, Dr. Foreman?
Yes,
Might
yes,
a witch have
yes.
cast a spell on me?
That is
Yes!
something we shall have to ask the stars, madam. Let us see. What was it that afflicted Mistress Sybil Fortescue last eve at dinner?
It was me. Yeah, let's go with it.
You are lucky to be alive, madam. It does seem that a witch was indeed the author of your unusual feelings at dinner. I believe she wished for you to eat yourself to death, or mayhap impale yourself on the candelabra you mentioned. Could there have been a witch in attendance at dinner last even? A suspiciously intelligent woman with a penchant for murder, perchance?
Aye, indeed. Our hostess, Mistress Emma Delamere. I did hear some rumours about her, but I have never paid them heed. Although if it be the professional opinion of a learned man that Emma is a witch, then doubtless 'tis full true.
Well, madam, as the enchantment she cast upon you seems to have been but temporary, I simply advise you to be vigilant next time you dine with your friend Mistress Delamere. Do not afford her the chance to slip any potions into your wine, for instance, or pluck any hairs from your head to make spells with.
Indeed, sir, I shall be most vigilant.
Good thinking.
I thank you for solving this mystery for me, Dr. Foreman. God give you good morrow.
Okay. Son of a... I wonder if Dr. Foreman's manservant was ever in the Navy. His arms do appear very strong. Yes. Boy, they love that guy. Okay.
The consultation with this one ending bad, or will Mistress Iron slap him round the head?
Let's do a few choices.
Good day, Mistress Allen. What brings you this day?
Aye, for I am most affrighted. But Mr. Allen says he thinks I worry over naught. So I am come to you, for methinks you would. Perchance you may help me.
By my troth, Pray tell me of this evil that affrightens you, madam, and I shall do all in my power to protect you from it.
Yes, evil. Indeed, 'tis the very word for it. I have seen a dark figure prowling outside our house in the night, and once I saw him spying through my window. Who is he? What does he want from me?
God, this
What
again.
am I to do?
I see. And you do not recognize his face or any other particulars? The colour of his hair, for instance?
Oh, nay, for 'tis always so dark. But by his silhouette I can tell he is a bony, scrawny little man.
Is he verily? But your husband thinks 'tis naught to worry over, you say?
Aye, he says the man is doubtless naught but a poor travelling tinker who is merely taking shelter in our garden. 'Twould explain why his figure is so slight, to be sure, but what if he is not a tinker? What if his purpose is more sinister?
Dun, dun, dun.
Indeed. Then let us consult the stars. Who is the man prowling outside the Allen's house in the night, and what is his purpose?
Is it you? Is it us? Alright, we're taking whatever is less. So we'll take B.
The stars suggest the prowler is a secret foe of your husband. Does Mr. Allen have any gambling debts, perchance?
Hold. Methinks I see it now. Ah, 'tis you! The prowler, 'tis you!
Me? How now, madam? What an outlandish notion.
So you would deny it? That you have prowled and spied upon me these last months?
Prithee, Avis, you've got it all.
I will not have it. I am not a
What?
thing to be owned. I'm not one of your
Wait,
prized
what?
possessions.
I prithee, madam, put that down. Put it...
Ah!
Fie, madam. That was a priceless Venetian vase.
Okay. Five. If I see him in the garden again, I shall Mr. Allen go and... Nay, methinks I had best not tell Mr. Allen. Okay.
Who is this man who has on such a claim? Late he returned from his conquests in Spain. The streets of London resound with his fame. Not a sinner knows that is his name.
Okay.
Good day, sir. How may I? By Jupiter! Can it be true? Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex, Lord of Her Majesty's Privy Council, the hero of the Battle of Cadiz.
Prithee, calm yourself, Sarah. Pray, treat me just as you would any other querent.
Of course, as it pleases your lordship. But may I say, what a great privilege it is to... may I offer you a...
You are the man who had some success treating the plague some years past, are you not?
Oh, indeed, my lord. You are very well informed. My strong water did save many a Londoner from a most lamentable death.
Then perchance you might have some cunning cure for me as well. For since I am returned to England upon having resolved that small matter in Spain, I find myself afflicted with the most vexing ailment.
Oh, but your most glorious capture of the Spanish city of Cadiz was no small matter, my lord. All England talks of nothing else. Why, pamphlets recounting your heroic exploits are sold on every street corner in London.
Mayhap they are. I know nothing of them. My single-handed victory against the King of Spain was but a trifling affair, and the least I could do for my queen and a grateful nation. But I fear vast riches and the hearts of many a Spanish beauty were not the only things I did capture while I was there.
What else did you capture in Spain, my lord? I fear I do not grasp your meaning. If you would kindly show me where upon your body you are...
As you see, this Spanish disease I caught has me oozing a most disagreeable substance.
Methinks I have a fair idea of the nature of your affliction. But I must confirm the judgment with a reading of the stars. Let us see. What disease troubles Robert Lord Devereux, the Earl of Essex?
Yeah, probably that. Troubled with love? Oh.
You have gonorrhea, my lord. 'Tis a condition provoked by an increase in intimate activities.
Too much strumpy humpy, eh? Well, 'tis true that since news of my victory got about, every wench from Southwark to Shoreditch wants a piece of my action, as it were. And how may this gonorrhea be cured?
The most effective method is lead plate therapy. Usually this requires a man to lie in bed for many hours with a leaden plate positioned upon his privy parts, thus allowing the lead to impart its healing properties to the affected member. But, of course, men such as your lordship have no time to lie around in bed, which is why Let me just fetch it from my cabinet, which is why I invented this.
And that is what? Some sort of wonder job, like the ones old men used to wear?
Precisely so, my lord. It is a codpiece that I had a blacksmith fashion out of lead. I invite your lordship to wear it under your breeches so that the lead may remain in contact with your privy member at all times. Indeed, until you are cured.
How very droll this is. Verily, how old-fashioned. I will appear as hung as old King Henry Tudor. Mayhap I just wear it in my chambers.
Good day, and please come again. If you need anything at all, I am at your service.
Okay. Ugh. Holy balls! Though, if I were to go about Whitehall Palace wearing a wonder joke, perchance it would revive the passion for codpieces. Perchance indeed. Alright, so we are going to wrap up part 3 of Astrologaster right here. We did not get another letter of recommendation this round. We still have 7 to go. Hopefully we'll be closer to 1 in the next installment, which of course is part 4. And we will hopefully see you then, swearers. This is, this game is growing on me a lot. I mean, there's some cool stuff here. Listening to the music cues as they kind of wander, especially the choruses, is like, this is an extremely well done game. And I think that is part of the beauty of it. So, but anyway, we'll be back part 4 of the next installment. Until that time, swearers, as always, peace out.